Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to design the CO2 rocket base seen here. And if you're actually going to 3D print these, I recommend launching them on the grass so the fins don't break, and they still have a possibility of breaking, but the thicker the grass, the better. Let's put it that way. So let's go ahead and come up to File, and let's start a new design here. And since you may be 3D printing these, let's change our document settings to millimeters because everything in the 3D printing world uses the metric system or millimeters. So let's go ahead and select OK. All right, and now let's go ahead and start a sketch here on our XY plane. I'm going to drag out a circle that has a diameter of 28 millimeters. I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see it. Let's finish our sketch. And now let's go ahead and extrude this guy a distance of 28, or excuse me, not 28. What am I saying? 12 millimeters. There we go. Now let's go ahead and start a sketch here on this surface. And we're going to draw out another circle with a diameter of 16 millimeters. Let's go ahead and finish our sketch. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and extrude it and cut away material. So we're going to go minus 11 millimeters and select OK. Okay. Now let's start a sketch here on this surface, and I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to come on up to create, and we're going to do a center rectangle, and we're going to click here, and we're just going to kind of do something like that, and then we're going to create, and we're going to go down to project, and we're going to project this circle right here and hit OK. All right, now let's go ahead and add some dimensions here. From here to here, I want this distance to be 28 millimeters. Okay, and now let's go ahead and trim a bunch of this stuff away because we don't need it. All right, now we're looking good. However, we do want to add a couple of dimensions here. So from this dimension, from this distance down to the center, we want that distance to be 1.25 millimeters. And we want this distance here to be the same, 1.25 millimeters. Okay, now there's a little bit of a problem here, so let's straighten these up with some geometric constraints. Let's make this one parallel to that one, and now we're looking good. Okay, because notice we already have our perpendicular constraint here, so if we make them parallel, we're going to get a nice perfectly symmetrical fin here. All right, so that should do it for the sketch. All right, now let's go ahead and finish our sketch, and we are going to extrude it here a distance of minus 20. Okay, and I'm going to come over here to sketches, and I'm going to click on that guy right there, and we're going to extrude it again the other way, and we're going to go a distance of 45 millimeters and select OK. I'm going to go ahead and take the visibility off this sketch now. Now let's come on up here and start a sketch on that face right there. Okay, and then we're going to draw out a square, a very tiny square, and we're going to find this point right here. Okay, and move it all the way over to here. Okay, and we need to dimension this square, this distance right here, to be something small so that it's 0.4 millimeters. So it's very tiny. Okay, and we're doing this so our fin doesn't rub. When we go to screw these on, this part doesn't rub up against the other part. So we have a little bit of a room or cushion here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch. And I'm going to go ahead now and extrude this little 0.4 distance out the other way, all the way through, and hit OK. All right, so now we need to ensure a couple things here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to start a sketch. Well, you know what? This will work. Let's go ahead and start a sketch here. Okay, and we're going to draw out a circle here, and this circle right here I'm drawing represents the diameter of a 2-inch PVC pipe, which we're going to drop it down. So we want to give a nice like sort of circular roundness to this fin here. So we're going to make this diameter here 51.5. Hit enter. Okay, this way they go down the 2-inch pipe, our launch sort of pipe, nice and perfect. And then we're going to draw another circle that's out past the fin. Could be any distance. I'm just going to make it 70 in this case. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch, and we're going to go ahead and extrude. Actually, let's go do both sides, and let's make it minus 60, and that should do it. Go ahead and select OK. All right, and now you don't really see it, but this has now a nice radius right here that'll allow this thing to slide down the pipe. Okay, because you want it to fit pretty much exactly, have a nice perfect fit into that 2-inch PVC pipe when you go to launch these. So anyways, let's move on here. The next thing we're going to do now is go ahead and add a chamfer. We're going to add one there and there, and those are going to be 8 millimeters. Okay, select OK, and then we're going to put a nice round fillet on here to give it a nice aerodynamic, stealth look. And we want that to be 1.25. Okay, and I didn't mean to, let's hit cancel because I don't want it. I want it there and there, there and there and there, and then go ahead and select OK. Oh, 1.25. There we go. Select OK. All right, we're looking good. All right, now that that's done, now let's go up to create, and we're going to do a circular pattern. So we come over here to, where is it? Pattern, circular, and we want to make 5 of these guys, but you got to click on every single face. So be meticulous here. Zoom in if you have to. And then select the axes. We want that one, and we want 5 of them. Go ahead and select OK. All right, and if you clicked on every single face, you should get 5 fins here. Okay, all right, looking more and more like our rocket fin base here. All right, next thing we're going to do now is to go ahead and add some threads on here, but first we're going to add a little tiny chamfer on here that will just make it a little easier to screw this guy in. So we're going to put a 0.5 chamfer there, hit OK, and then we're going to go to create, and we're going to go to thread, and we're going to go to M16. Okay, make sure you hit modeled. Okay, make sure it says right hand and select OK. Alright, so now this is my attempt to sort of make a rocket nozzle here, and I've tried different things and I've launched these a lot, and this seems to be the best way to kind of get these things to go even straighter to help make these things go straight. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drag out a circle here with a diameter of 14 millimeters. Okay, hit enter. Finish our sketch. Extrude. And we're going to extrude this guy a distance of 8 millimeters. Okay, and we're going to taper this. So it's got a bit of an angle here. And we're going to taper this guy at minus 13. All right. And when you do 3D print these, I recommend a raft and supports, obviously. Okay, so yeah. Now the last thing we need to do is simply start a sketch here. Okay, and drag out a circle with a diameter of 7 millimeters. All right, and finish our sketch. And then, okay, we need to extrude this guy and cut away so that it goes all the way through here. So whatever distance you want, just make sure it goes all the way through. All right, so this will allow so that we have a hole, so our CO2 rocket will have thrust. Okay, all right, and that'll do it. Now let's go ahead and modify this guy and give it a nice cool color. Actually, let's give it a physical material first. I'm going to give it a plastic cover of ABS plastic. Okay, and then I'm going to modify this guy with the appearance, and I'm going to come down to paint again. Find the red color, and you can make them whatever color you want. Go ahead and hit close. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save this guy. I'm going to call it the rocket base video and select save. Alright, and that'll do it for this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.